Welcome back, nerds. Fino here with an event guide for BB Strikes Back. Now this event's pretty involved and lengthy to boot, going on for 3 full weeks. Mechanics come in stages, so the way I see it, there's no point doing a front-loaded info dump. For this video, I'm going to tell you what you need to get off the ground and provide the rest in separate chunks. As always, names are subject to change. First things first, you have to complete Solomon to participate. Hopefully you took advantage of half AP to do this, but even if you didn't, that's going until May 7th. The reward is absolutely worth the trouble, so hop to it. As for the event itself, it's heavily story-based and progression requires you to grind free quests. The big roadblocks are keys, which you can find in the shop. To get these you need Sakura bucks, which you get for completing specific missions. Don't confuse these with Sakura chips, which are used for general shop purchases. Sakura chips should be invested in copies of First Premonition, which increase chip drops. Keep these separate. There's a fairly thorough guide on Reddit. It has information exclusive to the rerun, but I'll link it as a convenient roadmap for early event progression. I'll follow up and use a separate video if there's a big enough discrepancy, but for now use that to guide your farming. That aside, let's talk about some mechanics. First off, there's the BB slot. It appears at the start of a quest and gives either a permanent buff or a 10-turn debuff. The results are random in free quests, but fixed in everything else. This makes farming a bit of a chore, so stay on your toes. Next up, we have a list of event servants. The new ones provide a bonus of 2 Sakura chips, while everyone else gives 1. Load up your backline when you can, because clearing the shop requires a lot of these. Again, First Premonition is your friend here, so run them when you don't have or need a currency ease. Speaking of which, this event relies heavily on farming large numbers of specific enemy types. Like Halloween 2, you can use craft essences to boost their appearance rates. But unlike Halloween 2, all but one of the currency E's are gacha only. The Cage boosts Type 1 enemies, Sukumihara Student Council boosts shapeshifters, and our Conquest on the Ocean of Stars works on Eater enemies. Actually, hold on, is it Type 1 or Type I? I can't tell anyway, because the fucking uses the Roman numeral. Well, whatever. I guess I'll leave that in. The last one is Someday in Summer. You get this from clearing missions, and it increases the rate of Sakura enemies, 20% a pop, 50% limit broken. Each enemy bonus caps at 100%, so 2 limit broken copies will do the trick. Alternatively, borrow a limit broken copy and run 2 basic copies of your own for 90%. These arrangements free up your frontline for combat CEs. If you want to roll for some of these, keep in mind that this event has 2 separate banners. If you want the Kiara Emi Alter combo, you'll have to wait some time, so expect an efficiency loss over rolling on the Melt banner. Not a big deal, but a nuisance early on. Between meaty health bars and extra enemies, 3 turning free quests isn't practical or necessarily desirable, if you have other options. This reduces the value of Arash, but puts a premium on defensive brawlers like Kualter and Ibaraki Doji. I strongly recommend Ibaraki because her disengage lets you cleanse off any debuffs from BB slots. It's very handy. On the recent JP rerun, I ran a frontline of her, Paul Bunyan, and Berserker of El Dorado to stack buffs and Buster Chain my way to victory. That's the general sort of team you're going for. Alternatively, you can try Arts Cheese with 2 Tamamos and Summer Mordred. If you hit that critical refund point, you can NP every turn for fast clears. That said, keep this kind of min-maxing to the free quests. The main quest can be quite difficult, harder than Shinjuku, and surviving should be your #1 priority. I'll have guides for the most difficult fights. But yeah, that should be enough for this early stage. If nothing else, look through the mission list and prioritize things that give you Sakura bucks. This will give you a relatively smooth progression. That and I hear Sakura bucks are quite valuable. Each is worth £5 British. Anyway, that's all I got. Stay tuned for more BB Strikes Back coverage. If you enjoyed this video, by all means subscribe for more. See you next time.